Well, welcome to Pride Park. How Derby need to start picking up Barclays Premier League points, and they see a good opportunity to do that today against an injury-ravaged West Ham. Well, it's nigh on 2 months since their only win this season against Newcastle. Although victory in today's only 3 o'clock kickoff would see them rise to the dizzy heights of 4th from bottom, and they'd certainly settle for that come May. Well, West Ham have almost an entire team on the sidelines, but as we head into the international break, Alan Kirbishley's team find themselves unbeaten since the last one. Oh, a draw at home to Bolton, thanks to that late equaliser, was a bitter pill to swallow. Well, let's take a look at this afternoon's team news. And Derby boss Billy Davies has had to ring the changes, 5 in all. Injuries to Claude Davis and latterly Dean Leacock are forced to rethink at the back. Veteran Mark Edworthy starts for the first time this season, while Tyrone Mears plays against his former club. Gary Teale, Eddie Lewis and Kenny Miller also get starting berths. Miller's return to fitness a welcome sight for Scottish fans, just 7 days ahead of the showdown with Italy. He'll hope to end a Derby goal drought that's lasted over 7 hours of Premier League football. West Ham's injury troubles continue to mount. Hayden Mullins, the latest victim, a groin injury keeps him out today. Jonathan Spector in unfamiliar territory, taking over his holding midfield role. It's too early for Dean Ashton, but there is good news for Alan Kirbishley, who turned 50 this week. Freddie Ljungberg and James Collins are fit to take places on the bench. Well, you might expect to keep a clean sheet today. Derby on a barren run, 7 hours and 11 minutes without a goal in the Premier League. So underway in the only match to kick off at the traditional time of 3 o'clock on Saturday in the Barclays Premier League this weekend, and this traditional football town of Derby will hope that their club can prolong their Premier League status, but they need to start racking up the points, and quickly, against the West Ham side who are pretty tight away from home. Gordon McQueen alongside me. What sort of match are you expecting today?
Well, like every other game for Derby County this year, difficult. They're finding life in the Premier League difficult. And if they do want to prolong their state, they're going to have to start improving. I think you look at the stats, goals conceded, goals scored, only managed 5 goals this season, conceded 26, and I'm afraid that's the type of statistics that send you into the relegation zone. And of course some tough games coming up, 3 biggies before Christmas, but Billy Davies desperate to get his side out the bottom 3, and he'll be hoping we can do that today against as you say, Daniel, a West Ham side depleted by injuries, and you've got to win your home games in the Premier League, certainly against its sides out with the top 4.
Well, an early worry for West Ham in the context of all that injury woe. George McCartney down after the challenge from Gary Teale there. Well, certainly different emotions for him immediately to last week, where he scored his first goal of his club career against Bolton.
Terrific goal it was as well. Right-footed volley.
Well, Billy Davies has reshaped and restructured his lineup this afternoon. Injury problems of his own have caused a real rethink. Dean Leacock, who in his view has been a revelation in a holding midfield role in the last few games, out of the side, as we see the challenge again there on McCartney. An early concern for Alan Kirbishley. Hoping for the thumbs up. He's got virtually a whole team out at the moment. Look at the names that are unavailable to him at the moment: Ashton, Bellamy, Ferdinand, Dyer, Davenport, Parker, Noble, Zamora, Faubert, Kwasi, who's back in the reserves. They just don't need to add to that list at the moment.
Well, it's an absolutely staggering injury list. I mean, they spent a few quid at the summer, West Ham, and a club that a lot of people expected to be doing probably better than the position they're in at this moment in time, but it's understandable when you read out injury lists like that.
Just caught a glimpse of James Collins there, who happily is returning from a calf problem that's seen him miss the last 4 games on the bench today. It looks as though McCartney should be all right to continue.
Well, I think the physio just indicating to Alan Kirbysley there, get him back on, have a look at him.
Well, there is a regular queue forming outside the physio's room at Upton Park at the moment. Darren Moore up in the aerial duel with Carlton Cole there. It's Danny Gabbidon stepping in. Certainly feels that he's coming into some form at the moment, Gabbidon. There's McCartney happily back among us. This is Giles Barnes. Won that back well as well. This is Miller. Possibility here for Derby. Lewis trying to work his way inside, but Gabbidon able to defend the situation.
Yeah, safety first there from Gabbidon, but terrific play by Giles Barnes to win the ball off Lucas Neill in the first place. That's what Billy Davis will be looking from his players. Total commitment. Got it there from Barnes.
Well, they're glad to see Kenny Miller back. He is ploughing that lone striking furrow, which he has done successfully with Scotland in the past.
He just get fantastic energy levels down. I've watched him on many occasions playing that role for Scotland and playing it very well indeed. Good goal scoring record with his country as well, but he really can put a shift down.
I seem to recall him playing it well against Italy not so long ago as well. There's another West Ham player down, Lee Bowyer this time.
Yeah, I think as he's having a word with Oakley here, his boot raised a little bit high. Is it a word? Is it a card? I think he's just having a word, Mark Clattenburg. Foot pretty high in there, in that collision with Bowyer. If you look at it here, you know, we mentioned Giles Barnes' commitment. Well, Oakley the same. Desperate to get a result here at Pride Park.
Well, 5 of Derby's 6 points so far this season have come here. There's the one away draw at Fulham so far this season. Miller loitering with considerable intent. That was won by Edworthy, who has only had those 3 reserve matches before today, but a wealth of experience. But wide open spaces here. It's Spector for West Ham. Well, what an opportunity opening up there for the American.
Well, you're looking around wondering where the Derby defenders are. Spector made a burst through them from the middle of the park. Just tries to get it onto his left foot, but the danger's cleared. But some really poor defending there by Derby County.
Well, Jonathan Spector has never scored in English football. That was a real opportunity to wipe out that statistic forever.
Well, he's got to hit it right away with his right foot. Just try to manoeuvre the ball onto his left. The chance was gone.
Slight hint of handball there from Eddie Lewis, but no decision in West Ham's favour. This is Morte. Bowyer making a run as well. This is Cole. And now Etherington. More bright football from West Ham. Just a little too strong for George McCartney.
He made a good run forward as well, McCartney. A better ball from Etherington. It wasn't a difficult ball either. Just roll it into the path of the little left back and he whips it across.
Gary Teale back to help out the Derby defence, but what a finish that was last week for George McCartney. A stylish way to get your first club career goal with his weaker right foot as well against Bolton last week.
It was a terrific finish and it wasn't an easy one either. But the good news for West Ham fans and Alan Kirbysley just made that run forward there, so he's overcame that ankle problem we had a few minutes ago. Looked as though he was struggling a bit.
And Stephen Bywater, 8 years at West Ham, never really was able to establish himself and felt the chill when Alan Pardew was in charge. He moved to Derby County beginning of last season. Attention mounting as the season goes on near the bottom of the table. Derby still very much in touch with safety, as evidenced by the fact that a win today will see them rise to 17th, a spot which I'm sure they'll be grateful to occupy come the season's end. It's won by Gabbidon over Giles Barnes' head. Oh, and a slip by McCartney could be costly. Oh, turned behind in the end by Upson.
Yeah, it's poor ball on by Gary Teale. Doesn't take advantage of the McCartney slip. Gives Upson a chance to knock this ball out for a Derby corner.
Well, plenty of attacking intent on show already. And big Darren Moore's on his way up there. Dealt with on the near post, away by Bowyer. But here's Oakley. Now Pearson. Spector in the way that time. It's Griffin now and Oakley. Gabbidon across to deal with the situation. On the side, because of Anton Ferdinand's continued absence at the moment. It's Edworthy. Settled in well enough. His last appearance was for Norwich in the Premier League back in May of 2005. This is Barnes. He'll take the throw, or Griffin. Occupying the left back berth, having been on the other side last week at Villa. Gabbidon will only find Eddie Lewis with his clearance. 3 in the area for Derby. Well, Solano defending that.
Well, it's important when wide players get into those positions. Your midfield players on that side of the park, like Solano, make sure the cross doesn't get in, and they did just that.
This is Lewis. Oakley. Thought about the shot, but he'll knock it in. Oh, and Pearson arriving. Just couldn't get himself on the end of that.
Yeah, it's not a bad ball from Oakley. He just tries to play this in behind McCartney. He spots the run of Pearson here, making a run into that back post area, but just too much weight on the pass.
Well, certainly a bright and lively start to this match at both ends of the field. The stakes certainly higher at the moment for Derby in their perilous position. Here's Solano in towards Cole. It's Darren Moore who gets the head on it, and now Derby can break again. It's Pearson finding Barnes. Real sense of menace about it. Well, Miller wanted it the other way. He didn't get it.
That's a poor pass from Barnes. Pearson breaking right, Miller breaking left. Could have picked either of them out.
Teale's delivery is too high for Miller. And it's moving along at a fair old tempo this game. Solano into Cole. A little pause for breath.
Well, and Billy Davis's programme note saying thanking his support for getting behind the side, keep it up, and you need your support behind you and through tough times. But Derby fans always create a very good atmosphere here at Pride Park. Well supported team.
And there may well be backing of a different nature for Billy Davis in the January transfer window, with a new regime under Adam Pearson here. If they're very much still in touch with the survival race come Christmas, then he may be able to strengthen his squad in January. This is Etherington. Just held up momentarily by Gary Teale. Certainly Matthew Etherington has rediscovered his form after a bit of a difficult patch personally, really, last season. A lot of off-the-field problems which impacted his performances. Matthew Upson was just grateful to be able to be out there with the injury troubles he suffered last year.
Certainly Derby put them under pressure in the early stages of this game, but West Ham are a side that, well, away form's been half decent, haven't conceded many goals.
Won 6 of the last 10 on the road in the Premier League, if you include the end of last season. The West Ham player down, Tyrone Mears, still on the surge though. Looks like it is a problem for McCartney, because Etherington had to race back and fill in there. No, it looks like McCartney's struggling big time here.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to continue in this game. We thought he was all right earlier when he made that run forward to support Etherington. But another little collision there aggravated the ankle injury. And it looks like he would take no further part in this game. He gets a little kick on it there from Giles Barnes. And you can see he's in some pain, but he's coming off.
And John Pansel is ready to replace McCartney, but let's hope for West Ham's sake that that's a relatively minor niggle, given the problems that they're suffering at the moment. And John Pansel made his first Premier League appearance in 11 months last week against Bolton. Has already said he hopes he's going to leave Upton Park in the January transfer window, but he's got to do his job this afternoon with McCartney now out of the picture.
And I've just switched full backs. Lucas Neill's come over to the left back slot, Pansel slotted in at right back. But the ups and downs of a footballer, George McCartney. Happy boy last weekend, terrific goal, put his side up against Bolton. And this week, well, picking up an injury. But that's nothing unusual at West Ham this season.
Very conference on the sidelines there between Alan Kirbishley and Mervyn Day. Yet more injury woe for them. This is Etherington. Well, so far a bright start from Derby County, but also a very, very presentable chance falling the way of West Ham and Jonathan Spector, so it's been a lively opening quarter of an hour here. And George McCartney getting immediate attention. It is a worry that McCartney's out. He's been about, well, one of the few constants at West Ham this season. He's started every game so far. But Pansel slotting in, Ghanaian international, but very much out of favour. That's Lucas Neill. Losing out almost to Gary Teale there and being hassled. Barnes. Now Spector and Solano to Bowyer Morte. Dummy from Bowyer Morte. Cole not quite on the wavelength there by the look of it.
Yeah, just can't go with surprise there, wasn't it? Looked as if it was going to be a nice little bit of interplay between the two. Step over, the little 1-2 send Bowyer Morte away. Captain Cole sleeping.
Captain Cole, he is a player who has really been waiting for his big opportunity in the West Ham side, and because of the injuries, you had Ashton on the sidelines, Bellamy on the sidelines, Zamora not fit at the moment either. He has got a couple of goals in recent weeks to really stake his claim. This is Cole up against Moore now. Oakley stepping in, but here's Spector. Oh, can Bowyer Morte get the roll on Edworthy? He couldn't quite. That's Solano. Cole going up. Where will it drop? And it'll drop at the feet of Lewis Bowyer Morte.
Yeah, claims for a corner kick there. Bowyer Morte felt it came off the Derby defender. Bowyer Morte heavily involved in this West Ham move. Just as a shot here, he's trying to say the defender knocked it over the bar. Mr. Clattenburg got that correct.
Clattenburg, our referee this afternoon. Lewis just getting in front of Solano to nip in with a important header there. This is Griffin. Now Miller. Barnes at Spector's outstretched boot. And towards Miller, but Upson defending it. And again, Derby pressure mounting. Well, by my reckoning now, they have gone 7.5 hours of Premier League football without a goal. Derby scored more than one in a match since the opening day draw here with Portsmouth, a game where they showed plenty of grit and spirit to battle back from behind. That's Miller finding Teale. Miller, Pearson and Barnes arriving in the box, but the ball won't find any of them. They found themselves in a few promising situations so far, Derby, and not been able to make the most of it. That's Solano. Cole's header, Morte looking to get on the end of it and outstrip Edworthy. He certainly has done. Morte, can he finish? Darren Moore in the way, it's Cole! And Bywater with the response.
Well, great big forward, Morte, shows terrific pace. It's a great header from Cole. Terrific pace here from Morte, comes inside, does he hit it there? No, takes another nudge. Allows Derby to get the block in, falls to the feet of Carlton Cole. Keeper saves the day.
Oh, terrific save by Bywater to deny his former club. And Neill finding himself in all kinds of space there. That's Pansil back in there. Away by Darren Moore. Barnes did enough to hassle Bowyer off it. But here's Spector. Well, Derby having a lot of the play and a lot of the pressure, but certainly it's West Ham who appear to have the cutting edge here. Chances have fallen their way. Etherington caught by a late one, but Morte will go on. Now Cole tried to squeeze it through to Solano, but while play goes on, Matthew Etherington is down in a heap and is clearly in a lot of pain.
Well, I think when this ball goes out of play that Clattenburg will be having a word with Oakley here. He had a warning earlier in the game, Matt Oakley. I think there might be a card coming out here.
Well, he waves the yellow card in the direction of Matt Oakley for that challenge.
Yeah, he's late in there, Oakley. I mean, Etherington's knocked the ball past him. I don't think he can have any complaints about the yellow card.
How many more injury worries can Alan Kirbishley tolerate? Well, he must just shake his head in disbelief at times, Alan Kirbishley. This West Ham job, his hometown club, the job of his dreams, if you like, and all the flack that was flying last season, he's had to tolerate that. And now, really a crippling injury list.
Well, really frustrating for Alan Kirbishley, because he must have thought with the investment for the Icelandic consortium, he could put a really good side together. But a lot of good players, but just can't get them out on the pitch.
Well, they're quite understandably taking plenty of time to assess the situation, but it doesn't frankly look very good at all for Matt Etherington. Well, Freddie Ljungberg, Alan Kirbishley will be thankful that he's able to play some part today. Brought back to the subs bench after a calf injury that's kept him out for the last 4 games. Well, is he going to have another crack? Looks like he's going to try and run it off. Etherington back on the field. Well, hopefully Etherington can continue, otherwise West Ham will have been shorn of their entire left side in the first quarter of this match. It's forward by Mears. It was all about West Ham and injuries. It was problem he suffered last year that effectively excluded him from the first team picture. To Miller, little touch, Barnes. Miller again. Will he choose to let fly? Well, the opening had gone. And Gabbidon's challenge broke it up.
Great challenge as well for the central defender. But just Kenny Miller drilled on it a bit. But here's another bad tackle on a West Ham player. Derby fans, not at all pleased.
Well, it's Griffin and Teale involved there. And Teale, there's a little present there waiting for him when he gets up a yellow card.
Well, he's late here. I mean, sometimes you say, well, his momentum carried him forward. Can't use that excuse there, I'm afraid.
Well, Andy Griffin none the worse for it. And that was a reckless challenge from John Teale.
Well, they've had better possession, and more of the possession, Derby County, but certainly it's West Ham that have looked the more threatening, the more dangerous. An opening for Spector, an opening for Morte, which they both might have done better.
Barnes winning that header, it's away by Neill. Barnes again. Teale trying to play Mears in, that's a foul. Challenge on Etherington. Well, Barnes with a problem, they're falling like flies at the moment. He'll be all right. I'm pleased to say Etherington's moving freely as well. And he's going to need some treatment here, the prodigious young talent here.
Yeah, I think Matt Clattenburg, the look in his eyes, and felt that he was a little bit dazed and wanted the physio in to have a look. Stopped the game, indicated that the physio should come on right away. I mean, here's the clash here with Upson into the back of his head, but there's a major talent, a player that West Ham are interested in at one time, and no doubt if Derby never managed to stay in the Premier League this year, he just might be a player that have difficulty holding on to it.
Well, he did reject a bid from West Ham in the summer, as you rightly say, Gordon. And there's George McCartney looking on forlornly from the dugout. Giles Barnes in need of some running repairs off the field. A match at the moment that is resembling a scene from Casualty.
I mean, Matt Clattenburg does well there to stop that game. I mean, I think that really careful when it's head knocks. And that was the case with Upson and Barnes there.
Well, Barnes back in the game immediately and to good effect to win possession for his team. Now Mears. Trials and tribulations of a manager.
Yeah, both managers been animated this half.
Davis and David Kelly down there on the dugout. Their plans ahead of this match certainly affected by injuries as well. They were hoping that Dean Leacock could continue in the role just in front of the back four, which he's made a success of. He was ruled out with a hip injury late on as well. Claude Davis already out. Bowyer with the misplaced pass, and Derby can try and build again. And Upson in there first. And Pearson to steal it back. This is Griffin. Solano into Spector. I wonder whether he'll live to rue that fantastic chance he had. Oh, you're playing him through again.
Well, they're certainly prepared to make positive runs for the middle of the park.
This is Teale, who's he's only becoming a crowd favourite at Pride Park after that challenge on Griffin. This is Cole. battled his way through the challenges. Now it may be an opportunity. Brilliant stuff from Cole, and he still might get a chance. Not in the end.
Well, he does ever so well, but it's Oakley that he bundles over just on the edge of the box here when he's trying to get his shot away, Carlton Cole. But he does well to get into a shooting position in the first place. Nice little bit of close control here. Lovely little 1-2 with Morte. Now I think Oakley stumbled in the ball there. Derby players are saying there might have been a push in the back from Cole on the skipper.
This is not Solano. He's content to let it run. Solano up against an old sparring partner as we see Matthew Etherington moving freely again. Solano's duel on the right hand side is with his former Newcastle teammate Andy Griffin this afternoon. This is Solano, now Bowyer Morte. Well, right on the edge, that looks like a free kick for handball against Griffin.
Well, that's a strange decision. Was it inside the box there, Griffin? I mean, Bowyer Morte should have shot in the first place. And he's pushing forward here. Now he's outside. Maybe uses an arm to stop the ball reaching its destination. Yeah, good decision for Mark Clattenburg. I mean, his momentum does carry him inside the box, but certainly put his arm outside.
Well, Darren Moore leading the diplomatic corps there, trying to protest the decision. Well, Noel Solano over the ball. Can he get it up and down with it being this close to the goal? Will he just blast it?
I don't think he's a smasher of free kicks. I think he picks his spot. I think he'll try the up and down one.
Morte poised as well for West Ham. It is Solano! Oh! Well, Derby saved by the woodwork. Terrifically floated free kick by Solano, and he's so unlucky.
Well, Bywater gave up on this one, hasn't he? It's a delightful free kick. Looks in all the way. Just too much bend on it. And hits the woodwork. Terrific bit of technique. Well, I've seen him do that on numerous occasions. Very, very good from those positions.
Well, hoping to find his first goal in West Ham colours. He did, of course, play a large part in a goal against Sunderland with his shot rebounded off the post onto Craig Gordon and in. This is Miller trying to turn it on, still battling for it. Upson away. Now Griffin. And opting to let it run, but Gabbidon had read it. And now Cole, was that handball? Oakley. Now Teale. Real ebb and flow to this match now. Mears had provided support. He tried to thread it through to Pearson, who was caught on the wrong foot, really.
Yeah, just caught a bit flat-footed there, Pearson, but it was a great crossfield pass from Oakley to find Gary Teale in the wide area. But still Robert Green, his form's been terrific this season. I was certainly a bit surprised we never get into the England squad, but very little to do today. I think Alan Kirby's will be a little bit disappointed that his West Ham side aren't in front in this match.
Well, the best chances of the game have fallen their way. They've rattled the woodwork from a free kick. It's developing into something of a familiar story here at home, though, for Derby. They do often have good spells of pressure, but without actually really producing all that much from it. It took a wonder strike, really, from Kenny Miller to quarry their only victory of the campaign so far against Newcastle.
I don't mind if Kenny Miller saves them for next week.
Well, I'm with you on that one. This is Solano, though, for West Ham, who fashioning the better opportunities. And whistled in towards Bowyer Morte. It's a first half that's seen plenty of attacking intent, but as yet the breakthrough's still to come. Darren Moore away up to Teale. He sets something in motion here. Barnes, cruelly chopped by Bowyer. Definite yellow card.
Well, he knows exactly what he's doing here, Lee Bowyer. He knows he's getting nowhere near Barnes. This is cynical. Knows he's going to get a yellow card for this. Barnes leaves him here. Made it pretty easy for Mark Clattenburg.
The Californian set-piece specialist Eddie Lewis over this free kick. 5 in and around the West Ham penalty box. Oakley lurking on the edge of the D. That's Darren Moore, who's certainly got some fearsome physical presence. Lewis to lift it straight into Robert Green's hands. Now what's on with the counter here? This is Etherington. And it's the man who took the free kick, Eddie Lewis, who is quickly back to deal with the danger. Offside there against Miller.
Well, I knew it wasn't a good free kick, Eddie Lewis. You expect him, his cultured left foot, to pick a Derby player out. He never, but he does really, really well to get back and block the counter-attack. This is Gary Teale pushing forward. Just tries to play it into the feet of Pearson here, but that's a poor ball.
This is Solano, the man who rattled the goal frame for West Ham. The closest to that breakthrough for the Hammers, who've won twice on the road so far this season, at Birmingham and at Reading. It's Cole onto Etherington. Edworthy in place. Plenty of experience, got plenty of experience in relegation battles as well, having dropped down from the Premier League on 3 occasions in his career, the last time with Norwich City. Solano stepping in with a challenge. Here's Griffin. Edworthy. Upson across ahead of Barnes.
He's been terrific, Matthew Upson. As have the whole back four of West Ham. That gave Miller, Gary Teale, Eddie Lewis much joy, even with the changes at full back, with McCartney going off, and then having to shuffle the back four around with Lucas Neill coming out to the left back position, Bransell getting it right back with a really solid look about them, Matthew Upson in particular.
Well, the veteran Edworthy out there for the first time in the Premier League this season, and well, he's hoping that this time he can help steer his side away from the drop. Fell out of the Premier League with Norwich City in 2005, Coventry Palace as well. It's knocked on by Pearson. Lewis, another veteran, giving chase. Gabbidon across there to deal with it. This is Oakley, scorer of the first Premier League goal of the season for Derby. Just 4 minutes here, and he remains, perhaps a little worryingly, Derby's joint top scorer at the moment in the Premier League with 2 goals. This is Barnes. Sense of anticipation when he gets the ball. But, blocked comfortably by Neill. Teased in by Teale. And it was Miller arriving as ever. Couldn't really fashion anything from it.
Well, they just try to help the ball across the box. Kenny Miller, he makes a good run in front of the defenders, and Teale fires the ball into him. Just tries to knock it into the danger area. But once again, good West Ham defending.
Well, in some respects, in Pansel's case certainly, it's an unfamiliar cast of characters, but the back four has been a pretty constant for West Ham this season. It's where they've had the least of their considerable injury worries. Only Anton Ferdinand, you would say, out of the first choice back four currently missing. Lucas Neill. This is Danny Gabbidon. Well, 6 minutes to the break. The goal has certainly been threatened, particularly by West Ham, really. But so far, neither rearguard has been breached. This is Mears. In the end, it is not behind by Lucas Neill, but with a frustrating end to that attack.
I don't know why he doesn't have a go here. He's only 18 yards from goal. Tries to play Teale in. Just knocks that ball in behind Lucas Neill, but makes it look easy for Lucas Neill to defend, although they do get a corner.
And big Darren Moore up there again. And it is in towards Moore. It's the first time in the game, really, that Robert Green has been under any sort of duress, really. Darren Moore hasn't scored in the Premier League for 4 years. During his time at West Brom, he got his last goal at this level. Etherington. The back of Tyrone Mears. This is Spector. Edworthy there again. Now Pansel. Pearson to take over for Derby. Griffin. Just escaped the clutches of Giles Barnes. Now Etherington. Morte. Solano's searching ball for Cole, and it's a real opportunity, and Bowyer will take it. West Ham, on the face of it, have a deserved lead. Lee Bowyer, the man who's brought it to them.
Well, it's been coming. They've had a few scares in this first half, Derby County. West Ham's finishing's let them down on several occasions. Well, it doesn't there. It's a lovely cushion header by Cole here into the path of Bowyer. Nobody picking Bowyer up at all. Does he control that with his arm? He may well do, but he knocks it through the legs of Bywater to put West Ham in front. There looks as though there might be a handball here by Bowyer, but composes himself and smashes it through the legs of Bywater. As you rightly say, Daniel, a deserved lead for West Ham United.
Well, they've not dominated territorially, but they have certainly had the cutting edge, West Ham.
Well, Derby County just haven't been creative. I mean, they've worked hard for their manager, there's no doubt about that. Vocal support urging them on. But defensively, West Ham have been very, very strong indeed. And certainly the more dangerous team going forward.
Well, break for Pearson, though, here. Up to Morte. Now Solano into Cole. Bowyer went a long time with outscoring at all in his second spell with West Ham, but it is his third of the campaign. Certainly goals were a regular feature of his game during his time at Leeds. Well, this is Tyrone Mears for Derby. Can they find a response before half-time here? looking ball, but comfortable in the end for Green. He's not had a shot to save yet, for all Derby's efforts, and they have been considerable. Shots on goal have been few and far between, if not non-existent. Bowyer's made a run again, and he's been found. Oh. And Oakley with the block in the end, but Bowyer just ghosted in there again, and could easily have seen West Ham get another one there.
Well, it's something he does really well. Times his runs to perfection inside the box. That's why he did score so many goals when he was at Leeds United. Got one here today, nearly in again. Decent block by Oakley. Bowyer appealing for handballs.
It's Bowyer to tease it in there. Solano's round the back. Away by Mears. It's retrieved by Bowyer again. Neill. Well, West Ham in front. What effect is that going to have on the Derby heads? As we close in on the 45-minute mark, it's going to be a fair old whack of added time, around 3 minutes. Plenty of problems. McCartney and Etherington particularly. And Carlton Cole playing his part in the moment that has given West Ham the lead. Well, hope for Derby, another corner. And it is the perfect time to score before half-time in this sort of situation. Change the whole complexion of the half-time team talk. In towards Moore again, but into the hands of Green again.
Well, he needs to do a little bit better than that, Eddie Lewis, from corner kicks or free kicks. Quality's got to be a little bit better. Made it far too easy for Robert Green there.
Carlton Cole winning the aerial battle again. Well, they've scarcely been troubled, the West Ham backline, despite having to go through an early reshuffle with the injury to George McCartney. There's never really been a moment where you feared for them, really.
No, it's been a good first half performance by West Ham. They've been solid at the back, midfield players prepared to make runs forward, support their strikers, Spector, Bowyer. Could have been a bit more clinical in front of goal. Well, that little fellow is. He never made any mistakes. It's a nice ball over from Solano. A nice cushion header, and all the time in the world here, Bowyer. It shows good composure.
He scored against Borough and Wigan this season already. Well, we're nearly 2 minutes into the added time. It's Morte battling, trying to stay on his feet. Will earn his team the corner kick as a result of his persistence there. Now Solano, whose ball played such a big part in the goal, to take the corner, but West Ham in no hurry to press for another before the break here. This is Danny Gabbidon.
Yeah, I just want to keep possession of the ball here, make sure they go in with that lead intact in the dressing room at half-time.
Neill with a searching ball. Can Cole keep it alive? Into the final 10 seconds of the half, it should be. Ham looking particularly comfortable at the moment. That man's perfectly timed run and composed finish making the difference. There is the half-time whistle, a half full of huff and puff from Derby County, but no real cutting edge. West Ham certainly found that. They'd come close a few times before Lee Bowyer seized on Carlton Cole's knockdown, placed it beyond Stephen Bywater. Alan Kirbishley's side have had more injury troubles, with George McCartney going off early in this first half, but at the break they do have the lead. It's Derby County 0, West Ham United 1. There wasn't too much in that in the end. The goal certainly a legitimate one. West Ham forced into one change during the first half, but is the group of players that has emerged from the second period. Clattenburg getting himself ready for action. So the second half gets underway. Do Derby have a fight back in them? Or can West Ham see their way through to their third away win of the Premier League campaign? Immediately on the offensive, looking for Carlton Cole. Up and under there from Giles Barnes.
There needs to be a big improvement in the play in second half Derby County if they're going to get back into this game. I mean, these are the type of games they really should be looking to pick up points. You look at some of the fixtures between now and the turn of the year: Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool. You know, if they don't start picking up points against teams like West Ham, well, a long hard season, but no doubt Willie Davis knew that anyway. But an impressive first 45 minutes by West Ham, taking into consideration the injury problems that they've got. Nice solid look of it, the defensive play, back four excellent.
Here's Cole looking to catch Darren Moore out. Well, Morte busting a gut to get into the box, and will! And another chance for him. Oh. Well, a real mess at the back for Derby. West Ham will only get a corner out of it though.
Well, Carlton Cole does ever so well to persevere, knocks the ball back across the box here. I mean, it's poor defending here, but looks up, sees Morte making a run there, just adjusts his body to hit it with his favourite left foot, but Bywater pulls off a save.
Bywater keeping his former club out in that instance, but only temporarily perhaps. Oh! And the crossbar rattled by Upson, and Lucas Neill denied.
Well, nearly broke the crossbar with that. I don't know about rattled. I mean, he really smashed that Upson. Not sure whether Solano picked Upson out there, but nevertheless it was a fantastic effort by the central defender. West Ham coming really close twice there to extending their lead.
Well, inches away from his first West Ham goal. Well, looks like more of the same at the start of this second half.
Well, it's a corner kick here. I mean, he hits this in the half volley, absolutely smashes this one against the crossbar. And it's a fantastic strike. I've got to think, well, West Ham to get another in this game, certainly the way the game's been going, you'd have thought, well, 3 points in the bag.
And swarming forward again, it's Solano, Alboa Morte.
We mentioned Derby's attacking play not been up to scratch today. People like Gary Teale, Kenny Miller, Eddie Lewis. Not seen a great deal of the ball, but the defender's been a little bit suspect at times as well, particularly at the start of this half.
As we've already mentioned, it is an area where they've been forced into a major reshuffle today. Still no Andy Todd, no Dean Leacock, Jay McEvely on the bench today, and Claude Davis out injured. He's had a big rethink. The rear guard has been breached. Managed to keep it respectable. The games have by and large been pretty tight at home. Only one defeat by more than a 1-goal margin against Everton this time out here. Edworthy was struggling for a moment there, but he's back on his feet. And now Teale trying to get away from Neill. This is Oakley. Griffin. And who's going to provide that inspiration for Derby? It's much needed. This is Mears. Now Gary Teale. He's in some decent positions, hasn't really conjured the quality. Another opportunity too now. That's a better ball. Picked up by Lewis. Oh, and Miller arriving! Oh, best chance Derby have fashioned.
Well, initially it's a great ball in from the right by Gary Teale. A real teaser. Eddie Lewis picks it up at the back post. The ball coming in here from Teale. It's a terrific ball. Lewis manages to keep it in. Looks up, sees Kenny Miller in space. Well, expect the striker to hit the target from there. He doesn't. Eddie Lewis does ever so well to keep this ball in. Good right-footed cross. Well, a poor header.
Well, the sort of chance that Kenny Miller would normally take. And the clock has ticked round. It is now over 8 hours since Derby recorded their last Premier League goal. In from Pansel, that's a dangerous ball. Bowyer, Etherington! And Derby are punished for the missed chance. West Ham have surely wrapped up their third away win of the season.
Well, good positive finish by Etherington. Just smashes it past Bywater. Once again, poor Derby defending. They really have been poor at the back, start of the second half. I mean, one moment you think Kenny Miller's going to put them back in the game. Ball breaks up the other end. Bowyer, Etherington, not under enough pressure here, Etherington. Just picks his spot. It's only a few yards out here. Bowyer just nudges it into the path of Etherington and he smashes it into the back.
I wonder what he's thinking now. Got a fair idea. Well, the second goal is going to signal a tactical change for Derby and the arrival of big Steve Howard. Not yet got off the mark since his arrival in the Premier League. Here's the man who looks set to make way, Gary Teale.
Well, certainly Billy Davis was under no illusions about the task ahead in this Premier League. I mean, unexpected promotion last year left the manager with an awful lot of work to do during the summer. Things not looking so good for them.
Well, Steve Howard on, the striker who's received international recognition this week, been called up to the Scotland B squad as a Glaswegian Granny. West Ham hungry for more, and Etherington with a wicked ball into the box there. Griffin to defend it.
A nightmare for defenders to deal with when balls are whipped in with the pace that Etherington whipped that one in with. It could go anywhere here. One place I didn't want it to go, back of the net. It can easily happen when balls like that come in with that quality.
Darren Moore getting ahead on that. It's Lucas Neill. It could go anywhere. It's Spector. Oh, it's in! It definitely crossed the line. And Jonathan Spector will claim his first ever goal in English football. And if there was any doubt now about the result, it's certainly been put to bed now.
Well, I'm afraid Derby County are symbolic at the back this half. Poor defending once again. Great opportunity Spector had in the first half to put West Ham in front. He did. He made sure this time. Darren Moore just smashes it left-footed, and he stops it in the line. I mean, it's Eddie Lewis that stops this in the line, and then just squirms through his legs over the line. Well, can't even get a break when you need one.
Well, another dismal day for Derby on the cards here. Teale there with some last-ditch defending before Kenny Miller could reach that. But in the opening 8.5 minutes or so of this second half, the game has been put well and truly beyond Derby County, and it's the biggest margin they've suffered on their own ground this season.
Well, here's the goal again. I think it's Dan Moore with the clearance there. Back into the danger area. Pearson hits it. Eddie Lewis stops it initially, slithers between his leg over the line. But I'm not sure whether it's an excellent West Ham performance or a really poor Derby performance. I think there's a bit of both.
Well, they're enjoying it. Well, I don't know if the dubious goals panel are going to have a say about that, but Jonathan Spector, who played 67 games in English football today without a goal, will certainly be putting his case pretty strongly. While Billy Davies, well, be no surprise to think that there's plenty of work to do on his side. This is Oakley trying to rally. It's Tyrone Mears. How he'd love a goal against West Ham.
Well, Oakley does well, just slides this ball into Tyrone Mears' path, who's pushed forward. He strikes it well enough, but can't keep it on target. Well, certainly a strange West Ham third goal. I mean, was it a Spector goal? Was it an own goal?
No surprise that there's a bit more activity in the Derby dugout. Well, here's Eddie Lewis. He'll hope that that third goal isn't debited against his name. The shot was on target, that's usually the criteria. Mears, but Etherington back defending. Oakley. Mears with the ball in, it'll escape Miller. Pearson battling hard to try and win it back. But he will fall at the feet of Morte. Cole may even still get to that. It's Darren Moore. He got across. Neill.
Well, the West Ham fans loving this in full voice now. Big support travelled down from London for this game. Enjoyed watching their side play away from home this season.
Well, Derby are in real dire straits, and they are going to make another change when the next break in play comes. Rob Earnshaw ready on the sidelines. It will be the unfortunate Lewis who is the man to depart. That's the information we're hearing. Well, here's Bowyer. Managed to get on the end of that ball when really seem on, but thread it through accurately to either Morte or Etherington. Up goes Howard. Giles Barnes scampering to try and get on it. Teale to make a full-blooded challenge in the end. Well, they have to go for broke, Derby. And it's Rob Earnshaw who's arrived at the club a record buy in the summer for £3.5 million, but hasn't had it all his own way in terms of even getting into the starting lineup. And he's going to go on, Eddie Lewis off, and it's gung-ho now for Derby County.
Yeah, just going to play with the three up top now, the three strikers. But the two wide men, Teale and Lewis, can have no real complaints about being substituted today. Never really get into this game at all. Although the same could be said for quite a few Derby County players. It's just not been their day.
To Carlton Cole. Morte moved left, this is Solano. Bowyer's made a run, but he'll use Cole. Bowyer arriving! They're rubbing salt into the Derby wounds now. Lee Bowyer with his second of the game.
Well, this is a rout now. It's a great ball in from Carlton Cole, and a brilliant run forward by Bowyer. Real positive Bowyer when this ball comes across him. Just gets his foot behind it, good concentration. Good pass here from Solano. Good run into the wide area by Carlton Cole. Excellent ball across. Terrific run forward by Bowyer. Look at the ground he's making up here. Saying to Cole, on you go, who's it across now? And I'll get on the end of this. Smashes it past Bywater. Well, we really need to get ourselves organised now, Derby County. This could be anything.
Well, the thin margins in football. 10 minutes ago, Kenny Miller had a great chance to level the game up. In the last 10 minutes since then, West Ham have scored 3 times.
Well, it's got to be said, it was always going to be an unbelievably difficult job for Billy Davis to keep Derby County in the Premier League. I mean, they're still in there fighting, but performances like this just dent the confidence of all these players. And his belief that the players can do it.
There's Miller foraging, will that stay in? In the end.
I think promotion last year was something of a surprise for Derby County and the fans. Billy Davis done a fantastic job getting them up. It was always going to be very, very difficult, especially when you're not getting mountains of cash. I mean, you're missing chances, as you rightly said, Dan. That's to make it 1-1 not so long ago either, was it? So it's a great chance. But when things aren't going your way, well, they don't go in, do they?
That was 4.5 minutes into the second half when Miller had that opportunity. We're now 15 minutes into it, and we've let in another 3. Well, it's the first real tasting, and I suppose hammering is the most appropriate word, that they've taken on their own patch this season. Here's Morte, he wants to get in on the act. And Solano. It's escape Cole. Drop for Solano. Lucas Neill. Well, they're just toying with them really at the moment. Morte trying to reach it.
I mean, it's good defending there by Griffin, but there's some fantastic attacking play by West Ham United. Really are confident now. Just knocking the ball about, keeping great possession. Can't get enough of the ball. 4-0 up away from home. Playing some super stuff.
That's a confident burst by Lucas Neill from left back. It's ironic really, they've scored 4 goals and the 2 main attacking players for them today. Carlton Cole leading line, Morte just behind him. Neither of them have got on the score sheet so far.
Well, this is difficult for Billy Davis. There's no doubt he's a talented manager. His team getting played off the park today. It's always going to be difficult unless you get vast sums of money to spend, which Billy Davis never had. It's a difficult job.
Morte looking to get in there, and there was a hint of a tug, which is the point he is making vehemently there. Tyrone Mears just appeared to maybe grab out at him.
Yeah, could easily hit a penalty there.
Was it maybe a little bit of sympathy from Mark Clattenburg? Talking of the difficulty Billy Davis has in the job, that carrot has been dangled by the new executive chairman Adam Pearson about the possibility of funds in January if Derby are still in touch and still in the running to preserve their Premier League status. Well, many more performances like this, bearing in mind Chelsea, Manchester United and Liverpool are among the next 6 fixtures in the Premier League for them, that plan could well change.
Front two have been impressive today for West Ham. Carlton Cole, Morte formed a really good partnership. When you think no Craig Bellamy, no Dean Ashton, and all the other players at West Ham have got out. They've got a lot of strength and depth. We've got to think when everybody's back fit again, West Ham are going to be a real force.
Well, let's all have a disco is the chant from the West Ham fans. And Solano and Morte over this free kick. It'll be Morte's turn this time. And Steve Howard with an important header because Upson had ghosted in.
Well, everybody's waiting in the shot there from Morte. Knew it wasn't Solano's type distance. He likes him from just outside the 18-yard box as he showed us earlier. Thought we were going to get a blast from Morte there, but just trying to pick out Upson at the back post.
Well, chaos reigned. Last time they put a ball in from this sort of position. The Derby defence. The presence of Howard will help. This is Bowyer. Solano. In towards Morte, looking to get there. And I'm sure those two up there, Morte and Carlton Cole, are hungry to get on in the act. It's unusual to see a side hit 4 and at least one of the strikers get in on the goal-scoring action.
It's a little midfielder that's grabbed the headlines today. West Ham's top goal scorer now, four goals, Lee Bowyer.
Shares the accolade with Craig Bellamy. And those names are gradually on the way back. We've seen Freddie Ljungberg and James Collins included on the bench. Just came a little too soon for Dean Ashton, his medial knee ligament problem. He's had the goals he got when he initially arrived at Upton Park. There is even more firepower out there at Alan Kirbishley's disposal. Bobby Zamora too, sidelined at the moment. He got some hugely important goals last season. We spoke about Tevez's impact. A number of key matches Zamora turned. Certainly an impressive one. This is Tyrone Mears though for a beleaguered Derby County now. They've been on the receiving end. That's Earnshaw with an ambitious effort. But at least an effort.
Yeah, it just skips up this ball and it comes in and just hits it early. Controls that one with his thigh. Gets a shot away early because he's under pressure.
Well, there is Adam Pearson, the new executive chairman, dangling the carrot of cash in January for Billy Davis should they remain in touch in the relegation battle. Otherwise it'll be funds to power a promotion push next season. But Billy Davis is at least secure in his position whatever happens this season, which is more than can be said for a few clubs just above him. The 3 immediately above Derby have all changed their manager in recent weeks. Tottenham, Wigan and Bolton.
Yeah, Matt Oakley, I'm getting another lecture for it. Matt Clattenburg, I mean, he's already been booked, so he needs to be careful here. He's calling him across. Does he get into his pocket for another yellow? That really would be trouble. No, it's just a warning for the midfield player. Just take it easy. We've had a yellow card already. I mean, you look at this, his foot's high, right in front of the referee. And that's the last thing Billy Davis wants.
He certainly wouldn't want his captain to pick up a ban. The impact of a sending off in this game now wouldn't be that huge, but it's the implications further down the line as Morte wins his team another free kick. This is once again more in the Solano position, I think. Although I think there will be a few takers here.
Well, everybody want to go on the score sheet now, but surely Solano will take it after his effort earlier in the game that rattled off the crossbar.
Lucas Neill's been known to hit the odd free kick from this position, but it is likely to be the Peruvian.
Morte would love a smack at it as well, because really his forward plays deserved a goal today.
It will be Solano, it will be 5! Fabulous free kick from the Peruvian. And it's more punishment for Derby County, more delight for West Ham United. Nobby Solano's first goal for the club.
Well, I think they made the right decision there, who was taking the free kick. The fabulous free kick earlier that rattled off the crossbar, and that was another absolutely glorious bit of technique. This is a real embarrassment for Derby County now. Fabulous free kick. Bywater's got no chance. The bend, the accuracy, enough power. Let's get a lot. It's brilliant. A lot of below us leaving, and in other areas of the ground. Can't take it anymore.
Well, they were hit for 6 at Anfield, but this has to be Billy Davies's worst afternoon of the season. 5 at Arsenal as well, but 5 on your own patch with more than 20 minutes of the game still remaining. It must be so painful for him.
Well, it just makes his job so difficult. I mean, what do you do on Monday when the players come in? You need to try and stay positive, Billy Davies. Still a large part of the season to go. It's not beyond them to stay up. Obviously unlikely when you see them performing the way they have today. But the manager's got to stay positive. But as you said earlier, it's good to hear him getting support from Adam Pearson. Knows that he's got a talented manager. Just try and get more funds to do the job better. Because we all know in this Premier League, you need the cash. No funds, you've got no chance.
It's part of Adam Pearson's remit, part of the deal he did, that he would seek out investment in Derby County. I mean, the support here in this city, it is a real traditional football town. Founder members of the Football League back in 1888, the glory days under Brian Clough and Dave Mackay. Recent successes under Arthur Cox when they finished in the top 6, which wasn't that long ago, and Jim Smith piloted them to 8th in the Premier League only 8 years ago.
Well, they've had some great sides in the past. The one that I used to play against in the 70s, McFarlane, Todd, David Nish, some terrific players, really good side.
Some of the names from that era, Charlie Georges of this world, Francis Lee, Kevin Hector.
Well, there's one thing that's a massive improvement from there, and that's the playing surface. It's always one of the worst in the league.
Well, here's Earnshaw, but offside. Well, it's time for a West Ham change, and well, Lee Bowyer is not going to get the chance to grab a hat-trick here at Pride Park this afternoon. The goal did the damage. He also grabbed the 4th of the afternoon, and getting a terrific reception from the fans of his club, really. Local lad, of course, from East London. And James Collins coming on for him, but what a great day for Lee Bowyer. He's the headline maker in this West Ham team.
I think he'd be disappointed that he is coming off. Another 18 minutes to go, and the way they're playing just now, and certainly the way Lee Bowyer's been playing, there's every danger of him getting the 3 goals. But a terrific afternoon's work with the midfield player. Trademark runs, timing his runs perfectly to get into the box, getting the end of things.
Well, Collins moving into his customary defensive position. It's good to see him back. It's another one on the returning list for West Ham. He's suffering from a calf injury. Earnshaw battling. Pearson's touch. Oakley. Is there to be a crumb of consolation for Derby? Howard managed to win the battle there with Lucas Neill, but not the war. Morte. Craig Fagan is being ready for Derby. It looks like Kenny Miller, seeing as he's lasted longer than was expected, will be the one to come off. Upson trying to play it through. Well, I'm sure there will be nothing but sympathy and empathy for Derby's plight at the moment from West Ham. It's not so long ago that the Hammers were on the receiving end of a real pasting at Reading, which looked like it had condemned them to Championship football. Still a long way to go, of course, in the season, and Derby's situation is far from terminal, but they need a massive improvement.
Still a long way to go in this game as far as Derby are concerned. Another 17 minutes. I'd like that final whistle to go now. There's been a terrific team performance from West Ham.
And here's Giles Barnes. Oh, Derby going to go down fighting here.
And no doubt a lot of the talk will be about West Ham's attacking play today, the performances of Bowyer in the middle of the park, Morte, Carlton Cole up front, but for me it's been built in solid defensive work. They've been terrific at the back.
It's Carlton Cole's efforts. He's so eager to get in on the act, a little rueful smile there. Well, Kenny Miller will look back on that moment less than 5 minutes into the second half, where he could have headed Derby level, but he will depart. He was expected to last an hour, he's lasted a little longer than that. One positive for him is he will be surely ready for Scotland action next week.
Well, that's Derby County changed their whole forward line now, and that's testimony to the performances of the West Ham defence.
Craig Fagan, Kenny Miller's replacement. Well, 15 minutes still remaining in this match, the agony being prolonged here.
Well, this is a West Ham side that had to chop and change early in the game with that injury to George McCartney. Lucas Neill moving over to left back, Pansel coming on, moving to right back. The two in the centre of the defence haven't changed. They've been rock solid all day, Gabbidon and Upson.
This is Earnshaw. And it's the West Ham supporters making all the noise, walking tall at Pride Park. Derby salvage a little bit with a goal. It's a terrific run. Oh, and Green holding on at the second time of asking as Craig Fagan makes an impact.
That's a good run forward and gets his shot away left-footed. Green gets it at the second attempt. Doesn't look a lot on here. Gets away from Neill and Etherington. Gets his shot away. Just lets it slip, Green.
Day of firsts as well today for Spector and Solano. This is Tyrone Mears, a former West Ham player, looking to find a parting shot, and he'll win a free kick right on the edge of the West Ham penalty box.
Well, the player ends up about 3 yards inside the penalty box, but the initial contact's outside the box, as you can see here. Mark Clattenburg's just got about everything right today, although maybe a few of the Derby fans would disagree with the Bowyer goal when he thought he handled it in the build-up before he smashed it past Bywater. Maybe a chance now for Derby County to get something of a consolation goal.
It's Earnshaw who will waste that opportunity, really. That's really summed it up from a Derby County point of view.
Awful free kick. Need some lessons from Solano. I mean, this really is a poor free kick. I mean, to be fair, the corner kicks, free kicks have been poor all day. Never really troubled West Ham at all.
More work for Billy Davison, Ed Kelly there to do. This is Barnes. Now Tyrone Mears. Still 12 minutes remaining. Well, there's plenty of time for the anguish to extend. There's also plenty of time for West Ham's injury problems to build up. It's John Pansel who's in trouble. Cole taking a little bit of fluid on board. Well, an excellent day at the office for Alan Kirbishley, and I suppose the perfect birthday present as he reached that milestone of 50 on Thursday. Such a tremendous job for so long at Charlton, but I suppose this was really the job he craved, his hometown club, the club where his playing career began. And after a tumultuous and testing first half season in charge, he hoped that this second campaign would be a little less stressful. It's not really been the case with all the injuries he's had to contend with, but certainly, if you can imagine the rich talent that he's got to come back into this unit that's proved so potent today, things are certainly looking up.
Well, if they can produce the type of performances that they've produced, particularly today, with the amount of injuries that they've had, all looks good for Alan Kirbishley and his West Ham side. Terrific strength and depth.
Neill in the corner there with Craig Fagan. Frustration already taking a grip on Fagan there as he wanted the corner. Agree?
Well, I think the assistant referee had a pretty good view of that. Only about 3 feet away.
A smattering of a smile there from Alan Kirbishley. Certainly showed his fury at the end of the Bolton game last week with that late equaliser, but it's very much a different story today. This is Lucas Neill to Etherington. Even the misplaced passes find their target. This is Pantsill. Still going under pressure from Pearson. Free kick given against the Scot. Another opportunity for Spector and Upson and Neill to go forward. It's more in the quest for personal glory, so I suppose now. Collins in there. Solano's delivery is met by Oakley. Fagan. Well, Pearson into Oakley. No real hope for Tyrone Mears of getting on the end of that. Fagan. To think about there. Keep that clean sheet intact. There's a few more who've decided that they've seen enough. Certainly the stadium beginning to empty. It's a probing run again by Tyrone Mears. Edworthy with a challenge.
Well, they won a corner kick, but say down an awful lot of fans leaving, they're finding it hard to take. Terrific support they get from the fans, have done right throughout the years. As they play at the old baseball ground, the atmosphere was fantastic, and it's pretty good here at Pride Park as well. They get right behind their team, but well, enough's enough today.
That's not the greatest corner, but Mears will seize on it and Oakley will hit. Again, well wide of the mark from Matt Oakley.
Well, there's that little save, Robert Green, from Craig Fagan when he come on. A little left-footed shot. Can't think of much else that the West Ham keepers had to do. Just never get the attacking game going at all today, Derby. Certainly the same can't be said for West Ham.
I'm sure Alan Kirbishley with a big smile on his face, but the sullen looks on the Derby fans' faces will not be eased by the fact that it's Chelsea here next in a fortnight. Spector's header and may fall for Earnshaw there, but Robert Green with some action there, which he hasn't had too much of, just that effort really from Fagan, as you mentioned, Gordon, and a few relatively testing claims in the first half. Now Lucas Neill leading the charge. And he'll get a free kick. Accusatory eyes from Fagan. Fagan has already faced a ban this season for his incident with Alvaro Arbeloa when they were on the receiving end of another thrashing at Anfield earlier in the season.
Well, I think Lucas Neill's looking round expecting a yellow card to be waved at Fagan. Clattenburg decides against it. The little wide man just clipped his heels.
Owen Howard, it ended up in the hands of Bywater. It was almost as though the big man was going to get his first goal of the season, albeit at the wrong end. This is Tyrone Mears for Derby. It's another real surge from the fullback, Fagan. 3 in the area. Barnes was arriving. It'll break for Oakley. Drifts to safety yet again. Able to get on the end of that. They're going to enjoy what's it's going to be a pretty long journey home, but impressive form on the road if you take into account the end of last season as well. This will be their 7th win in 11 matches on their travels. Certainly the most convincing. It's away by Collins, and they'll beat Oakley. This is Bowyer Morte, now Carlton Cole. Lee Davis still urging his troops on, certainly when you get to the heights of conceding 6 at home, that has to go down in the realms of humiliation, and certainly want to avoid that. Carlton Cole and Lewis Bowyer Morte in particular, I'm sure, still hungry to add their names to the account. Cole particularly, I suppose, when you think about the players who are likely to return and will certainly stake a strong claim to taking the first team berth off him, the likes of Ashton, the likes of Bellamy and Bobby Zamora. This is Fagan. Now Oakley. And Howard looking to get up there, and it will drop for Pearson. Well, it won't, because Pansil made a superb blocking challenge in the end. Snick it away from him. And they're still defending doggedly as though their lives depended on it, really, West Ham. Well, a bit of aggro there between Oakley and Neill. And a card flashed in the direction of the Aussie, and a word here for Fagan as well. Well, it's Fagan involved with Lucas Neill in the end. This is Earnshaw. He'll let fly.
Well, the few shots that Derby County have had today have been from distance. And I'm afraid they've all been the quality of that shot poor. It's just been a horrible day for Derby County. One that I want to forget. It was a difficult job for Billy Davis to try and raise their spirits when they come into training at the beginning of the week. But Alan Kirbysley, absolutely no doubt delighted. Excellent all-round team performance. Solid at the back. Upson in particular, who's been terrific today. Positive in the middle of the park. Spector, Bowyer getting a couple of goals. Etherington, Morte and Carton Cole, with a really good striking partnership. But, well, Derby, if you're looking for pluses, can't find any.
Towards Howard again. Away by Morte. Well, it's not quite up there in the realms of biggest Premier League away wins. Chelsea scoring 6 at Spurs, but Manchester United hit Forest 8-1 on their own patch 8 years ago. You may remember that one. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting 4 goals as a substitute that day.
And not a bad goals teller when you come on as sub. What a terrific finisher he was.
5 on the board for West Ham. Jonathan Spector, who may face a battle to claim his first goal in English football, fell there, squirming in on the line off Eddie Lewis. Well, Mark Clattenburg brings the agony for Derby County to a close, but ecstasy for West Ham United. Lee Bowyer had put the Hammers in front. Etherington wrapping it up early in the second half, then they went on a goal spree. Etherington, Spector, Solano and Bowyer with a second all on the score sheet on a terrific afternoon for the Hammers. But the inquests surely beginning for Derby County. If they continue in this sort of vein, then their Premier League status is not going to last for long. Lee Bowyer, the headline maker, with 2 goals. Solano adding a layer of gloss with a brilliant free kick at the end. The final score, Derby County 0, West Ham United 5.